Colbert walking off the ground first, and perhaps a pointer that it's all over for Lee Colbert.
Perhaps, and what a sensational play he's been. He's one of the most courageous players that has played the game. Terrific fella off the field. It's given his all to the Kangaroos as well when he spent his time down at Geelong, and what a super career he's had.
He certainly has. It's all over for Lee Colbert. It's all over for the Kangaroos.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. 200-game star Lee Colbert, who played his last game against Port Adelaide. It's the toss between Adam Simpson and Warren Tredrea. Tredrea winning, and Port Adelaide will kick right of screen. In fact, Lee Colbert took his most famous mark here, not far from where he is right now. Welcome to you, Lee.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. Not a real memorable game, that last one of mine, but we got belted by 88 points thanks to Port Adelaide. But tonight, Chad Corns back in the side, and he's going to go straight to Adam Simpson, which is going to be a great matchup for him. Back to you, Dwayne.
Thanks, Colby. Players in position, umpires for tonight's game. Hayden Kennedy, Heath Ryan, and Matthew Nichols. And there is Todd Goldstein, just putting the jacket back on as he has a sit down. Yet to see some action in AFL footy, but that won't be far away, you wouldn't think. Carlisle and Thompson, that'll be an important matchup as well. And Brogan and Petrie to go at it in the ruck. 10th versus 13th. And we're underway. Brogan with the initial knockdown and Petrie with the initial free kick.
Just back one metre, please.
Perfect start.
Okay, man, Warren. Move it on, please. Play on.
Told to hurry up and thump it. Long to Hansen. Gets back, takes the mark.
Well, he's got the job on Justin Westhoff, and he's running right down the other end of the ground. A great start for the youngster.
Can send it to the goal square. He goes central. Nathan Thompson from 5 deep leaps and affects the spoil on lower. Wells gets the handball out, but finds Roden, who does start games well. The Roden runner is away. Couple of bounces and off he goes. Bleep, bleep. Sees a couple straight past them. Kicks toward half forward. Pearce breaks a tackle to Modler. To send Port Adelaide inside 50 for the first time. Low trajectory, and almost it is the mark to Greg Bentley.
See, that was a terrific transfer of the ball from half back to half forward. Absolutely brilliant. And just a good check from Motlop, just holding things up, turning back onto his natural foot and bringing the ball back into the corridor.
Well done, Daniel Pearce, Jason, for running hard through the lines. He just created an option into space for Port Adelaide when David Roden was running that ball out. So good start by young Pearce as far as his hard run's concerned.
For Bentley's first goal of the year, Port Adelaide on the board.
The Kangaroos have just got to be mindful. Good start, kick the ball to the top of the square, but if they're going to bomb it in like that, we saw a number of Port Adelaide players get numbers back, and that's where this run from David Roden start. They're able to clear it, and one thing about Port Adelaide's game, when they're up and running, is their run from half back line. As we see, a nice inside 50 there, good mark, good confidence, good goal.
And that wasn't a surprise. Mark Williams told everyone who was prepared to listen during the week that one of the changes Port Adelaide would make is to get it inside 50 quicker from defence. From the ball up, Brogan down to Roden, left it behind. Good tackle on Urquhart, dragged down, and we'll get a ball up.
As expected, Dom Cassisi has gone to Brent Harvey.
What's behind me?
No surprises there whatsoever.
What's behind me?
And there's that little battle. Brogan to Cassisi, gets the touch on cue. And Hansen takes the mark on Westhoff. Two young players.
Josh Gibson's got the job on Ebert.
And Gibson gave to Harvey, to Power. And a wide ball, and just inside the line, Hale marks.
It's an interesting matchup for Gibson. Yeah. He's normally giving away size and weight, playing on key forwards. All of a sudden he gets a small guy, and we'll keep a close eye on that one.
Mark taken just as the collision came.
It's good work by the Kangaroos. Just a bit more patience this time in their inside 50.
Petrie to the top of the square to Thomas, who couldn't quite complete the mark. Kane Corns coming off a controversial week. Cassisi caught almost a wing tackle.
Good numbers here by Port Adelaide.
Pettigrew And now Pearce with a couple to beat. That's why they've got numbers in defence. They had one on the wing, and Pearce beat two. Takes off. Needs to feed it off now. Sends it inside 50. Treadray gets there on Watt, but he left it behind. And Watt collects. Gets out of jail. Simpson. Little chip kick good to Harris. It started well early in this game.
Good use of the body.
Harvey about to send them long to the goal square. He's sizing it up. He might go all the way from 45. Sends it wide. Tackled just in time.
Probably had to get rid of that a bit earlier, Jason. Thompson was in the goal square calling him in, and probably one-on-one. You'd like to back your players in. Considering the form, Thompson's been a bit of a concern for the Kangaroos. Want to get him off to a good start.
Yep. Little 1-2. They get out of it. Port Adelaide. Carlisle to Brogan. Kane Corns peels off. Pratt with him with a big job and got a glove on it. Petrie. Rawlings. Wells. Port Adelaide supporter as a kid when he grew up in Port Lincoln. South Australian boy moved to WA. Wells and turns it over to Roden. Not the kind of man you want to give it to early. White, Corns got one high.
He doesn't look like he's following Daniel Wells, Kane Corns. He looks like he has the licence just to chase the ball, and we know how good he is at getting the leather.
West off and doesn't hold it. Hanson. Fourth possession for him. Not 15, you heard. Rawlings, Power, Harvey, Wells. And now McMahon, South Australian boy, back home.
Petrie's pushed forward.
And he chips it to Petrie, who marks on 50 and takes that netball half step and not called to play on.
Just on that range where you think if he has a roost, he can probably get there, but if he has the comfort of a good lead, he'll probably honour it.
There's the good lead and tries to honour it. McMahon left it behind. Chaplin.
This is what Port Adelaide want him to do. They want him to force him to kick and force him into error, and that's what's happened in 3 of their forward 50 entries.
Turnover to Simpson.
Chad Corns just caught it off the toe, off the instep. He had the player clear in the pocket.
And the toe's one thing that he isn't got with an injury.
I was just going to ask, does he need that operated?
Everything
as well?
else has.
You just see it, he just kicks off for 1 or 2 steps and catches it heavy off the instep, misses the target.
Kicked 3 goals free this year, Adam Simpson. To level the scores, and the captain does it. It's tied away.
Well, they needed to answer North Melbourne. It's important for them. They haven't travelled well this year, even though Port Adelaide they have an abysmal record at home. One thing you don't want to do is let the crowd get involved and let Port get their tails up. So after conceding the early goal, it was important to get the next one. And Adam Simpson just chopping in to intercept that errant kick from Chad Corns makes Port pay.
Boomer Harvey, 3 possessions. Petrie, 4. And Daniel Wells amongst it as well. He's had 3 early ones as well.
The general straight back into the middle. He told to get out. So he runs back in. Brogan. Little palm down, unsuccessful. Petrie ties it up. Brogan tries to rake it free, and they have him. A secondary ball up this Port Adelaide's bench. Sean Burgoyne, unfamiliar position for him. Kane Corns quickly. Bentley couldn't break free with it. Back in. And Bentley gets it again. It's Bentley with traction control in the middle. Cassisi, Roden, runs through Harding. Cassisi, Chad Corns, another fumble. Roden, another slip tackle for David Roden. He was too fast for his own legs.
He bounced as he was falling over.
Logan, Carlisle, Motlop. Waste no time to get it inside 50. Ebert.
He was dead set spectating then, Brett Ebert. He was looking where the ball was coming. He was looking who was going to fly, and he just wandered underneath and thought, hang on a minute, I think the contest is going to get pushed underneath the ball. I'll take an uncontested mark.
Well, set play, well on Daniel Motlop. Took the mark, whirled around, kicked to the top of the square, but the bloke that's not going to get any, I guess, credit there is Warren Treadway, because he was the big body that everyone went to, and this bloke was left alone.
He's kicked 22 goals, 11 this year. Now 23 goals, 11. Port back in front.
Now, Jacko, we spoke in the lead-up. Brett Ebert, he's an enigmatic player. He takes a terrific mark for a player of his stature. He's fast on the lead. He's a beautiful left-foot kick. We just see some great evasive skills from David Roden. But as for bouncing the ball as you're falling over, I'm not sure about that. But, gee, he did well to control it. And then the quick play on from Motlop hooks it back into Ebert. But if Ebert can kick 4 or 5, they'll probably get home.
Well, just got to bring other players. As you saw Treadway, he did the work there. And Westhoff, he's got to get in it as well.
Agreed to a new contract as well with Port Adelaide to stay at the club where he was born and bred.
Kane Corns has now gone to Daniel Wells, Dwayne, but that's about as close as we've seen them. They're starting position on the wing for the bounce, and then they go their separate ways.
Brogan follows up his work and continues to follow it up. Got away and then got caught. Got a kick away. Logan wanted it badly. Cassisi tied up. Handball out. Stolen by Wells to Simpson. Now the Kangaroos away. Harding, if it bounces, it bounced unkindly for him. Straight through Pettigrew. Handball from Thomas. Slap back to Harvey. He's already had a sider from here. He misses again to the near side.
He was in two minds there. He was going to give it off. He should have probably gone the kick straight away, because he's a good kick for goal on the run.
He should have, but it was the same thing he did last time. A step too many, and the pressure got to him just as he was kicking.
Well, Port Adelaide promised they'd get it inside 50 quicker, and that's exactly what they're about to do. From the kick in, Logan to size them up from 45. Ebert again. And maybe 50.
He's got Sean Berger on if he wants him. He should use him.
Strange that wasn't 50, but Sean Burgoyne is an exceptionally accurate kick.
He has
19 goals, 5 this year.
Just wanted straight off the bench, Dwayne. Straight off the bench, straight forward into space, unattended, and perfect timing as Ebert takes the mark and squares it up to him.
Well, they just got to be mindful, the Kangaroos, on the counter, because Port Adelaide, all their thrusts are coming from that half-back line. They're getting numbers, they're running the ball, and then they've got a very open forward line.
75% accuracy rate this year.
You got it.
Sean Burgoyne. And he's now kicked 19 goals, 6. Lee Harding. Rookie list to 100 games. It's been a great story. Lee Harding's story.
Big zone set up by Port Adelaide, and a number of North Melbourne players bunching in the centre square for the second or third possession.
Gibson. Back pocket. Plays on almost outside the boundary. In fact, he did.
That's silly. That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's a poor decision, Jacko, because left footers always arc out a little bit as they kick it, and he's got him for running off the line as he kicked it, but that's his normal kicking style.
I just, let the game go. Let him. Let's not be too technical. He's going to kick the ball. Let him kick it.
Brogan from the slap down. Pearce. Corns. Good slap away and taken across the line by Ben Ross. In just his second game, Ben Ross. Strange phenomenon in AFL footy.
See, now
this outside the boundary kick.
Once they call play on, you're allowed to continue on in a straight line outside the boundary, and that's all he effectively did. But being a left footer, he went a half a yard out to the left as he kicked it, and he got pinged for moving off the line.
I agree, it shouldn't have been a free kick, but
too technical. You
can't give left footers leeway that right footers don't get.
But that's the way 99 out of 100 kick that way, Dwayne.
But if you've got a rule for a left footer, you have to have it for right footers too.
Just let him kick the ball back into play.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's having a feeling for the game.
Ben Ross.
Oh.
And that's not a great kick, although Rawlings keeps it alive. Thompson. Little 1-2, Power and Simpson. And a tackle by Chad Corns, which is deemed legal. Almost a push in the back. No prior opportunity. Blake Grimmer.
Sam Powell there, you can see, is the man that's following Chad Corns around.
From the bounce, Corns to Corns.
Fumble again.
Wells. Simpson. Good chance here. Lindsay Thomas. He sizes them up. Shorts it to the pocket. Perfect pass. McMahon knows where they are here. And the ex-South Australian kicks the goal.
Well, it came from Chad Corns, another fumble. You called it, Jason.
That's three.
Turnover, and they had the numbers running for the Kangaroos. This is what they've got to do. They've got to take the game on, because their pace would be a concern against a Port Adelaide side, but you've got to take your chances. Good goal.
I'll come from the other side.
From Minletton on the North York Peninsula, and from just up the road, Woodville West Torrens player Scott McMahon. And scores are all tied up. Brogan, and up against in the first game at Todd Goldstein into the ruck. Brogan with the clearance, and Pearce. Chip kick to Loney in game 100.
Didn't go all the way.
Here's a long kick of the ball, sends it toward the goal line, all the way in game 100.
First touch.
Well, I'm going to give this goal to Jacob Surgeon, because he won the 50-50. He dived on the ball when there was a loose ball to get, won the ball out, handball back, and then he ran forward. He was the one who aided the block, so he's involved in two passages of play there, young Surgeon, and Nathan Loney finishes it off. First touch in his 100th game. Good goal on the run.
Story of persistence, Nathan Loney, game 100, 64 games with Hawthorn. Ryan's on Collingwood's list, of course, his twin brother. His father passed away of prostate cancer a couple of years ago, Nathan Loney, and it did knock him and his brother around a little bit. Grimmer with the takeaway. White playing in defence. Port Adelaide with the clearance. Bentley, Roden, Pearce. Sean Burgoyne, good hands. And he's got the option, Thompson over the top.
Oh, it's good running by Adam Thompson. He was an option in the middle of the ground, but Port Adelaide elected to go to Sean Burgoyne, who was leading in the vision of the ball carrier. But Sean got back, flipped the ball over the top, and Thompson ends up getting it anyway. He gets a shot on goal now.
And a good move by Mark Williams as well. Sean Burgoyne getting attended to by Brady Rawlings. Throws him forward. He gets a different matchup. He gets Lee Harding. And he's played very well as a leading forward before Sean Burgoyne. You can see his opponent there, Harding. He's the one that led up, took the mark, and then quickly played on and found Thompson.
Kicked 4 goals, 1 this year. Adam Thompson. He slides it home. Port Adelaide have their biggest lead of the game. 2 goals.
I know it's early, Jason, but the Kangaroos are going to have to find another way, bar their genuine spirit and a little bit of their class, to win this game of football, because Port Adelaide's pace would be a worry for Dean Laidley and for the North Melbourne Football Club. They've just seen off that half-back line, Roden, you've seen Pearce. You've got a fast forward at this time with Sean Burgoyne running through the middle. The pace is just catching North Melbourne at the minute.
Love the way they're moving the footy at the moment, Port Adelaide.
Was Port's #1 pick a few years ago in 2004, Adam Thompson. He was pick 11 that year, and one of the players whose apprenticeship is effectively over for Port Adelaide. This game, number 27. Loney, Roden, and slipped away from him, Hansen. Grimmer, high kick around the body. McMahon from 4 deep, got a touch on it, knocked it down, tied up. And we'll get a ball up. Dangerous position this. The perfect position for a ball up if you're in the North Melbourne forward line. Too far out to knock it through. DeLuca and Petrie. DeLuca gets at it. Petrie couldn't. It was a wobbly bounce. Harris dragged down, and he too under a bit of pressure this week. Daniel Harris, just 15 possessions against St Kilda last round, and threatened with the axe by Dean Laidley. And Goldstein, perfect palm to Petrie. How's that from the first gamer?
Well, just the goal mouth was open there, and Port Adelaide, that's where they seem to dominate the game and then just go to sleep. Look at the goal mouth here, Jason, wide open for Petrie just to run in. You just got to get it defended just to protect the goal space, the goal square. He was just able to do that with too much ease. But they're hanging in there.
Perfect palm down try, the debutant, Todd Goldstein, another former Australian junior basketball representative turned to AFL footy. And why wouldn't you? .25 plays 19. To Luca, tried to get the palm down, but it was to Harris. Rawlings. Power. Back into the corridor nicely. Grimmer to the goal square. Petrie, hands on it, off hands. McMahon had it but lost it. Comes out somehow. And dragged back in. And as he was going to get hold of the ball, got it back out. Surgeon from Roden. Cassisi, stolen. Grimmer, well played. Magnificent tackle by Pettigrew. Oh, tough holding the ball.
That's a very tough holding the ball. He made every effort to get rid of it, and I think he's entitled to say, well, why isn't that a ball up? I guess you can say he tried one step to take him on, but it was a split-second instinctive thing as soon as he got it.
Well, you want to encourage players to take the game on a little bit too.
Bentley's kick turned over to Pratt. Took a step around. Slips a short pass, dangerous pass. Harris.
Pretty congested ahead of him.
Well, this is where they're going to be mindful that they be patient with the ball. The long bomb's not going to help them.
Well, there's the long bomb. We'll see if it does. DeLuca got a fingernail to it, and White can drag this through. He elects to. Damon White. 5-point lead to Port Adelaide. Carlisle entrusted with the kick in. 10th versus 13th. A genuine chance for the 8 up against a slim mathematical chance for the 8. And a turnover to Harris. And he can give North Melbourne the lead.
Yeah, I don't know if he can go the journey from there, Daniel Harris. That'll be right on his threshold, I'd suggest. But, gee, that's a poor turnover. An unusual one for Port Adelaide coming out of the back 50.
Daniel Motlop, who, when he was at North Melbourne, once put deep heat into his jockstrap, as one of the famous stories. Down behind him now, giving a ribbing. And the deep heat worked. Harris kicks behind. In fact, their practical jokes have been thick and fast at North Melbourne over the course of time, but one this week for Shannon Grant certainly backfired. Not too sure it involved deep heat, but we'll find out from Lee Colvin.
Oh, look at this.
Exactly what it involved. Westhoff.
Look at this.
To Logan. Port Adelaide have 3 players inside 50, unmanned. Motlop can go back and have the shot.
In actual fact, they should have been running into an open goal, but they went one hand past too many. If they had have looked up, they had Ebert and Motlop both running back to the goal square. They needed a quick kick, but the extra handball allowed North Melbourne to get players back.
So the man who did the deep heat work on Daniel Harris missed it. It's the post.
That's a bad miss. That should have been a certain goal for Port Adelaide. They just caught North Melbourne out. North Melbourne had the full 18-man zone happening, and they got it through and over the top of it, but got let off.
Pratt told to get it on, and thumps it high and wide. Ross and Corns. Tough one for the young Ben Ross in game 2 to win that one.
That right there.
In game 197.
Right there, Dwayne, there's a sign of confidence, or a lack thereof, for Chad Corns. He's had 3 early fumbles. We know he's had a bad finger and sorts of problems with his hands, but how many times would he punch there rather than flying over an inexperienced player?
And Ben Ross collects. Sends it in the Harvey and Cassisi direction. Magnificent Cassisi. And then through traffic. Bentley, Cassisi share it. Chad Corns on the rebound. Pierce out wide. Westhoff forced the prop. Harding spun out of trouble but turned it over with a handball. Pierce. Loney. Lead from Ebert. He's going to have to motor. Gets there and marks. Plays on. Kick half smothered. Well played by Harvey. Got a hand on the smother. Motlop. And Harvey drags him to the line. Get a ball in.
Just needs to go with the first option sometimes, Daniel Motlop. He had a handball on, he feigned the dummy, and then he got caught. This is great work from Cecil.
Well, this is the time you do go to ground.
Yeah, he was off to the races, Harvey.
DeLuca almost ripped it out of the air. Goldstein almost stole it. Simpson to Wells. 26 plays, 21. Handball smothered, turnover. Burgoyne got legged.
Oh, boy.
Tackle slipped, and that's a tough one on Power.
He's got a wry grin on his face too, Sean Burgoyne. I think he got away with one. He took a long time.
Got the lead there in the end.
Gee, took a long time to get rid of it.
Well, he missed one from here about 3 minutes ago. Sean Burgoyne, same spot.
So you're saying he can't miss this one, right?
Well, I'm not too sure whether that means he can't miss it. They tell me in roulette, even though they roll 10 blacks in a row, doesn't mean a red's going to come up next.
You've called it.
It's the same kick too. That's an identical
Same kick. That's 11 blacks, mate.
That's right. So do we load up on red?
Oh, no.
Double or nothing. Good game, though. 4-3 to 3-3. 1 goal the margin. Harding. Short to Pratt. 24 minutes gone, opening term. North Melbourne spent the first half of this season inside the 8. Now in danger outside. And DeLuca flies. Ross. Got it from Gibson, sends it towards Hale. Hands on it, can't mark it. Well played by Watt. Shuffles it out the back. Campbell. Thompson with some space. No one inside 50 for him. Everyone on 50. Hale fights on and does brilliantly. Unless it gets done for ball. Yeah, ball.
It was a terrific effort, actually, to get to the ball because it would have rebounded. Port would have swept it away, and he dived full length. He's got the long arms and dragged it back in, but as soon as he got pinged, he was always in trouble.
I know it's a tough rule, but you encourage your big blokes to create the contest and then stay involved, be lively, and then you get penalised.
Loney went for Bentley. He missed it, and the ball rolls out of play. 27 plays, 21. Port Adelaide lost their first 4 games this season and have lost their past 4. Let's try to get a little bit of a run going, and Corns runs into the back of Power, the free on the wing. Just backward of it. Chips it wide, made it tough for Urquhart. He was able to cut it off on the line and find Pratt.
Again, getting held up. There's just not a lot of run. A very interesting stat for North Melbourne. They've only played on after 35% of their marks this season. That's the lowest percentage of any side in the competition.
Harvey. 2 kicks from goal, or at least 2 Brent Harvey kicks. 1 Rocker kick.
Oh, he went the barrel.
Barrel.
To the square, and Brogan got a hand on it and then gathered his own crumb. Burgoyne ran into trouble, got rid of it, and a good tackle laid by Carlisle. Harding going nowhere, will get a ball up. Lee Colbert.
Warren Treadray coming back onto the ground. Both teams have gone pretty small in this first quarter because they obviously think they can get an advantage there.
And Petrie, Thompson, they all knock it down. Umpires found a free. Kangaroos free. 20 from goal, directly out.
Well, that's the downfield umpire that's not in control, spotting or holding off the ball.
That's what you want to see. It is the downfield umpire, like you mentioned, and he's keeping it close, doing his job while the main umpire's ball on the ball, and he's found a free kick.
And you can see Nick Lower looking up at the scoreboard. He's thinking, surely not. I didn't hold him. I want to see a replay of that, but you got pinged.
So Matt Campbell, born in Darwin, raised in the Alice, but played SANFL here for North Adelaide.
Oh, no.
And he should know where they are, but that's a horrendous miss. We've had some horrendous misses at either end. And he's a normally accurate kick, Matt Campbell. 24 goals, 8 coming into this game for the season. Loney. Lower. This, of course, being Nick Lower, his twin brother Ed. Emergency for the Kangaroos tonight. Didn't get a game for the Roos, Ed.
Well, they've gone this zone again, Jason, as you mentioned. It's forced Port Adelaide, but our viewers won't see it, but Port Adelaide have got 3 players in their forward line unaided.
Yep. And they did get it down there once, but didn't get the goal when they should have.
Corns and Ferrito. Ferrito got a palm on it. Corns peels back.
Good option, Pratt.
And Pratt dumped it down to Hansen. Somehow got a handball away. Harris, Ferrito. Well played, Petrie. Harris from 50. Centering kick. Good to Thompson. Gets there, can't mark. Got the free for an arm slash.
I thought it was a terrific kick from Harris. I thought it was really to the advantage of Nathan Thompson. And if he was in form, he would have taken the mark anyway, Nathan Thompson. He had a good jump at it. And that just looked to be a very tough free kick. I thought there was a clean spoil of the ball coming across the front there. But you don't get free kicks at times when you deserve them. So take the ones that you get when you don't deserve them.
They've been behind or level the whole game, North Melbourne. They can take the lead in the shadows of quarter time. Thompson's first.
Well, Thompson might think he's a bit lucky here. You said he's a little bit out of form, as we see it. Not a lot in it, but the umpire's called it. And now is a chance for him. He's got one early into the game for himself, get his confidence up, but he's got to keep leading. You spoke about Harris's kick. The thing that I liked about Harris's kick, Jason, was he got it there in pace. Yeah. You want to get this guy one-on-one in the goal square, because that's how you'll get his confidence up. You'll get him more into the game.
They were 2 legitimate attempts to spoil. You can't ping defenders for doing that.
One minute 20 to quarter time. North Melbourne in front by 2 points. Cassisi almost took on the tackler there. No chance, according to umpire Heath Ryan. Cassisi getting back on Harvey, who was sneaking forward. Corns got a slick handball to Thompson. Corns back in, wrapped up, ball up. These two teams play again in round 22 due to this strange draw that we have. Met at the MCG in the final home and away round of the season. Get another ball up. Port Adelaide 2.5 wins behind North Melbourne on the ladder as it stands now. And the ball up. DeLuca got a fingernail on it. Petrie extracted it with a kick. Bouncing ball. Ross shoots the handball wide. Simpson to Wells, who can go all the way from 50. Goes goal square. Thompson with his confidence up.
He back-led very nicely there, Thompson. He saw the kick coming in. Daniel Wells probably could have gone for goal, but went the discipline thing, went to the top of the square or nearabouts. And like I said, with that pace of the ball moving in there, the Kangaroos were on their way. He lost second chance.
He lost his opponent, Alapati Carlisle, in transit. As you mentioned, he led up and then doubled back, and in the end, he was the only one that was ever going to mark the ball, Jacko.
For his second. And he kicks into the mound, the mark. Unforgivable sin.
Yeah, we've had both teams kick 4 goals, and both teams should probably have 7 goals on the board.
So in essence, the score should be only 3 points apart anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Just that we should have more goals to either side. So the scoreboard's a true reflection of the opening term.
Is.
That's good news. It's about to be quarter time after Chad Corns feeds this one off. Might check with Lee Colbert after the break as well. It appeared as if Port Adelaide was kicking with a slight breeze in the opening term, but they go in at quarter time behind North Melbourne, snapping at the heels of the top 8. 4-6-30 to Port Adelaide. 4-3 27. Lee Colbert is downstairs.
Me with the great assistant coach, Matty Primus. Matty, some really good passages of play, but then you actually butcher the ball going forward at different times.
Yeah, we did. We had some easy shots on goal, and you know, our stoppage work probably let us down. I think we're down 10-3 or something down there, so it's an area we've got to try and fix up.
The little blokes, you've gone a little bit smaller down forward at times. Is that an area where you think you can actually get the Roos?
Yeah, we think so. Look, we've been going inside 50 and scoring pretty well from it. We've just got to be able to kick some more goals and points. But, yeah, we think it's an area we can get a hold of the Roos.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Boys, also, you mentioned the breeze, Dwayne. It is favouring the right of screen a little bit, but not too much. Shouldn't be too many goals involved.
Thanks, Leroy. So North Melbourne kicking with a half-goal breeze in this second term. Gibson on Motlop. Goalless so far tonight. In fact, Gibson now moves to Ebert. Daniel Motlop coming off a goalless week against the Bulldogs last round as well. Second term underway. Brogan and Petrie, the 220s. Petrie slips a handball out to Urquhart. Simpson. They're back to Pratt, pushed in the back, no free. Roden. Open forward line for Port Adelaide. Ebert gets there. Unkind bounce for him. Gibson couldn't collect it. Sean Burgoyne does. Turns everyone inside out and then spears a pass into the back of Ebert. Gibson, tunnel ball. Thompson. Pearce. Brogan. Working it around. Chad Corns with the outside of the boot. And Pratt gobbles it up.
Just lost their way a little bit there, Port Adelaide. They had numbers on the fat side, but they elected to come back to the left of screen.
Wells to Campbell. Ferrito peels off and can't mark it. Chased down by Sean Burgoyne. Almost as good as a kick from Ferrito. Takes it out and travelled at 35 metres.
Well, there's Josh Gibson. He's got the job on Brett, but you can see the black armbands. In fact, it's Josh Gibson's grandfather who passed away recently. So the North Melbourne players wearing the black armbands out of respect.
Brogan thumps it down. Wells collects. Rawlings and Wells at the 1-2. Centering kick to Hale. Takes the mark. 45 out.
It didn't look pretty, but there's a lot to be said for just kicking the ball into dangerous positions. That's all it's about.
And a lot to be said as a forward playing in front.
Yep. It's a little floater back into the corridor. And the forwards normally more instinctive. Defenders tend to play reactive. Forwards 9 times out of 10 should be in that front position, and that kick that drops forward, there's only one person that's going to end up with it, and that's the forward. Now Hale needs a good kick. They need to take advantage of the opportunities. There's the 20-second warning from the umpire.
He's kicked 13 goals, 8 this season. All responsibility on his shoulders with Corey Jones dropped for this game. From the paint of the 50, not bad. Doesn't come back enough. Hits the post on the way through and behind.
They've dropped off Port Adelaide. First half of the first quarter, they were well on top. They should have been probably 3 goals in front. North Melbourne fought back beautifully, and they've got their noses in front. Port Adelaide have to get something going all of a sudden. North Melbourne are feeling right in this.
Loney and Sean Burgoyne combined to get it to Roden. Logan. Thompson. They're running it. Pearce. Almost run down back to Thompson. Runs into Ferrito. Almost threw that away. Tread drain power comes hard. Dives into it. Ferrito slips a handball out to Wells. Tied up and he almost throws it away. So it's 1 each. Urquhart to Simpson. Kangaroos on the open side. Harvey can go a long way here. Another bounce waiting for him if he wants. Can run it to 50. Can take it to 45. Can go all the way. Hands it over the top. McMahon for the finish. Perfection.
I reckon there would have been a real temptation for Brent Harvey to keep going, another bounce and a shot at goal. And given that he picked up the ball at half-back, that would have been a contender for goal of the year. But in the end, there's no need to kick it if you don't get the right lead. If you've got space in front, you don't have to kick the ball. Don't kick it to a contest when you're controlling the football. And in the end, the lone defender had to come out at him, which freed up Scott McMahon. And he finished very well off one step.
Scott McMahon now the leading goal scorer on the ground with 2. 2 goals from 3 kicks. 3 possessions all up. And Harvey needs a rest. Kangaroos out to their biggest lead of the game, 10 points. And Petrie wins it to Wells. Brogan steals it back, can't get a handball out. And it does come out. Wells, slick handball. Pratt around the body to the wing, and it bounces across the line. Side by side they contest again. Drop to the feet. Roden to Logan. Gibson gets there first. Can't mark, but got a free for a push. Play on, Kangaroo ball. Watt to Wells to Pratt.
Well, he's continuing his good form, Daniel Wells, up to 12 possessions, but he's that link-up man through the middle of the ground, and he's just setting up play nicely for the Kangaroos.
Ross runs the wing. Short kick, cut off by Lower. Thomas made him earn the punch away, but Lower's fist wins out. Lindsay Thomas. Good spoil and hip and shoulder. Ball back into play. Harris caught, dragged down. Hale tossed it up, but to Roden. Hasn't got a lot of space to move here, so gives it to Kane Corns. Westhoff flies with Hanson. Good mark.
Good mark.
And he's not allowed to play on with that because
To his confidence, the word of good. He had to take that mark, and he was a couple of numbers against him here. The Kangaroos were certainly coming to the contest, hoping he would spill that mark and they could mount their attack. But good mark for him.
had he handballed that, it would have been okay, but it spilled out and played on. Jack Corns, nice collect with the half volley. Loney slips. Corns met. Lindsay Thomas dumps him.
Well, they've lost a little bit of direction here, Port Adelaide, because where they were dominating in that first 12 minutes of the first quarter was their pace, their movement of the ball on the ground. And the Kangaroos, with that zone, Jason, you mentioned before, have been able to steady their run down. Their pace is not there anymore.
Wing tackle on Harris, he threw it away. Kane Corns. Gibson, front spot. Almost the mark. Westhoff tackles him. Urquhart, looking good. Watt, even better with that kick to Harris at half-back flank.
Petrie down the line.
And he collects it just inside the line.
Plenty of numbers back for Port Adelaide. Not much on offer forward. That's why he's reluctant to kick it long.
Possession number 10 for Drew Petrie. Turns over to his opposite man, which makes it worse. Brogan, Corns, White, Roden runs into trouble. Turnover. Hale slips it up. Ross playing well. Pratt, few opportunities, his goal, and he goes long and strong. Second goal of the year.
Well, I mentioned about the pace factor for Port Adelaide. What the Kangaroos are doing to them is, once they take possession, they're slowing the game down a little bit and obviously denying them the possession of the football, forcing them into error or forcing them away from kicking the ball on their terms. And they're just rebounding the other way, moving into their forward line with numbers. And on that occasion, at the top of, I guess, the centre square, they were able to just go straight to home and kick a goal. So great goal there by Daniel Pratt.
Signed a new deal this month for another 3 seasons at North Melbourne. Daniel Pratt. With that piece of play showing exactly why they re-signed him. From the ball up, Brogan with the slap down. Kasisi through traffic. Brogan dropped it. Good tackle. Oh, too hard, too high. Kane Corns on power. Kangaroos looking good. Harris. Chip kick, perfect kick. And Petrie can line up from 50.
Now, some people will be watching that passage of play and say, why didn't Daniel Harris handball the ball to Blake Grimmer? Well, the reason was another hand pass just puts a few of the forwards out of possession. They've led. He got a great lead from Petrie, and he kicks it to Petrie at the edge of the corridor, 50 metres out. If he delays the kick any longer, he's outside goal kicking range.
And you want them to lift their vision and look down further as well.
The 11th possession for Drew Petrie, and he can't nail it.
Must be the side with the kicking, you said, Dwayne. We're all pushing him right.
Yeah. It's that half a goal breeze Lee Colbert was talking about. Michael Pettigrew. Chad Corns back into the team this week. Brogan with the hands in the back.
Yeah, looked it.
And pushes off and
too high. Oh,
well, the other umpire was about to play to hold the ball, so there was 2 decisions coming out of that.
Oh boy, and that should have been holding the ball.
Hayden Kennedy.
He got away with 2, Dean Brogan. He put the hands in the middle of the back of the marking contest, and then he dropped the ball, and he gets the free kick. Got to be happy with that.
danger. Gibson, good spoil. Thumps it down, and now the Kangaroos on the rebound. Urquhart sold the dummy to Chad Corns. Needs to find a target. Fist from Logan. And Logan gets the handball up to Lower. Pettigrew. Surgeon, well played. Thompson bounced unkindly for him. Harvey spun into trouble. Hanson, Ross, Thomas.
Good kick.
So a bouncing ball from McMahon to collect. Lead to the pocket. Front spot, Chaplin. Hale thumps it across the boundary line. It's a win for North Melbourne.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was good defensive play by Troy Chaplin as well. There was only one place that Scott McMahon could kick that ball, and that was down the line long, and he took front position, and that's why he got the spoil in there.
Short throw in. Brogan takes it out of the air, got a kick away.
Of sorts.
If you can call it that. Roden head first into trouble, and neither holding the ball nor too high. Ball up. Natives a little restless here at AAMI Stadium. The Port fans have come out tonight. A little worried about their team again. Pearce wobbles it wide. Bounced unkindly for a couple. Thompson almost took out Sean Burgoyne. Westop with the tackle. Ball falls to Gibson. Urquhart holds it up. Port get players back. Grimmer. If he can get there, Harding calls him in, says, "Oh, Shepherd, you go." And he was about to turn around and say the same to Harding. And the ball out of play in front of Blake Grimmer.
Let's see where they'd look for a lift. Port Adelaide. Warren Treadray yet to touch the footy. Has not had a touch and has been on the ground the entire time, virtually.
Corns to Bentley. Well, back to the two Cornses. And they both get a touch. Kane inside 50. And getting back for Rico. Pratt. Campbell. Gibson. Gee, time enough to wait for it to bounce. Watt. Too high for him. Jack Corn's tackle on power. Spectacularly good.
Very good tackle. Very good tackle. Enabled Chad Corns to keep that ball in. If
He's hurt him too.
Bit of blood on the face of Sam Power. I think he had it before he actually got involved in that tackle. You can see the claret over the lips and nose. The umpires haven't seen it as yet.
Yes, well, they've allowed him to have it for about a minute or so now. And he's still out there, still bleeding, and still not seen. He's got a big face full of blood.
He's facing the umpire.
Straight at the umpire.
Right. In your face. Jack Corns. Brogan can't break free, gets a push.
Oh, how are they letting that?
And he's got a white jumper on as well, blue and white. So
Well, maybe it's just a bit of abrasion there and it's not actually flowing blood.
Lipstick. Motlop. Big thump. Treadray for the first time. Can't. Watt. Handball out. Kangaroos under siege here. Port Adelaide with the numbers. Burgoyne tries to get it out. Kangaroos getting players back. They tie it up. Ball up.
that's a good win for the Kangaroos because Port Adelaide had the numbers. They had a lot of urgency. They sensed they were about to have a shot on goal, but the Kangaroos were able to tie it up.
DeLuca to the goal line.
Dangerous.
And Hanson clever enough to take it through. Only game number 6.
Well, this is a good,
Hanson, but
good,
clever there.
a good passage of play here for the Kangaroos this period because it's just somewhat frustrating Port Adelaide. They can't get any momentum going. They certainly had in the first quarter, but haven't been able to reproduce it.
Harding. Urquhart. Speaking of players early on in their career, Gavin Urquhart just game number 6 for him. Thumps it along the boundary line. DeLuca and Goldstein. Gibson. Good tackle, Loney. Dispossessed. Bentley. Shoots into the Kane Corns and Roden direction. And they share it. Kane Corns within range.
He had a shot.
To Westhoff instead.
Yeah,
Should have had a shot.
Would have had a much better angle to have a shot from.
Better angle. And young Westhoff, he's having his third possession for the game. Treadray still hasn't touched it. Bit of a concern for Mark Williams. These two key forwards haven't really had an impact on this game. Hopefully after this mark he can goal and get his confidence up, young Westhoff.
50-50 a goal this year. 10 goals, 11. It's now exactly 50-50. 11-11. They needed that.
Well, I was critical of Chad Corns for not having a shot, but I have to congratulate him now, Jason, because he brings a player into the game that probably recognised his form's a little bit down. He spotted him up inside the pocket and thought, I'll bring you into the game, son, and that's what he's done. And that's what they need more of, to get their forwards, their key forwards, providing their work rates up and they keep presenting. He was worried there a little bit for what he was doing.
Thought he'd kicked it over his head. He thought, have I kicked that too far?
Justin Westhoff, another player whose apprenticeship is essentially over. Game number 30 for him tonight. Cuts it back to a 10-point margin. In a good game, 10th versus 13th, but it's been better than that. Good tackle. Corns couldn't get away with it, and the tackling has been good all night.
That's the thing. Corns in your face with a hand, gets tackled, doesn't get penalised. They've gone soft on that rule because he did take his direct opponent on, should have been penalised, and Hayden Kennedy was in best position there.
It's been around a while, Hayden Kennedy. See some rule changes in his time.
Well, he's made one himself tonight.
Goldstein, the first gamer in the ruck. Trinity Granover boy from Victoria, doing well. Simpson. And White, a little push. And the mark for Damon White. Over the head of Carlisle. Lower collects and gives short. Logan. And kicks smothered. He's having a good night tonight, Ben Ross, in just game number 2. They say that you always remember your first game, but you never remember your second.
Up to 7 possessions, Ben Ross.
You might remember his. Simpson. And good tackle. It has been spectacular, the tackling tonight. And there's the example from Logan. Yeah. Lower. It's got Pearce out wide. Took the step, played on, and dumps it long. Westhoff with a couple to beat. Can't beat them both. Harris.
Got to find another avenue to goal in that way. 1 on 4 that time.
Got it up to Hardy. He took on 2. Got it out to Pratt. Slips the handball out. He was hoping for Goldstein, who lays the tackle.
Holding it.
Holding the ball. He gets his free.
He feels like he got one high, and there's a right arm over the shoulder, but the umpire's at the other angle, and he certainly wasn't making an attempt to get the
Got to
free
keep
out.
playing on with the game. Don't play to the whistle. That's why he got penalised. He probably thought he should have got a free kick, but keep playing the game.
Burkhart, Gibson, Pratt, Wells. Well worked. And he sprints down the wing. He might go the journey. He ran too far.
Let him go.
Well, he's run 20 metres, Jacko.
Well, it was 11 and a half, I reckon, Jason. That's what people come to the game to watch, players like him. I know the rules there, but I don't think it was that obvious.
Let's
Let's count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
Each one's about 1.5 metres, Jacko. That's 20 metres.
Let him play.
And I hope you don't step it out like that for a 7-iron, Jason. Because you'd be wrong clubbing every time.
Well, obviously,
13 steps. Surely you're allowed 13 steps.
13 steps when you're running at full pace with a long gait like Daniel Wells has got to be 20 metres.
Bentley. Pettigrew. Well played, Harvey. Kept his body on the line. Ross. Toward Thompson. Chaplin read it nicely. The open side. Surgeon. Corns. Even. Treadrate. A possession for Warren Treadrate. What can he do with it?
Not a good kick.
Over the head of Sean Burgoyne. Can he make something of it? Ferrito pushes it through for a behind.
He just tried to rush that on. I know he's got his hand up and he's apologising there to Sean Burgoyne, but an experienced player like Warren had to go back and wait for the right option. You're inside 50, make good use of it whilst you're in there.
He's done a good job, Shannon Watt, on Treadrate. Another one that's been under fire a little bit at times this year.
ticking to time on now in this second term, and Goldstein marks on the line and gives a signal to hold it up. He knows the game.
It's not bad, is it? It's only his second possession. He's had the one kick. He's had one hit out, which resulted in a goal, and now he gets his second possession.
Nice to see the first gamer knows the game plan. White, Corns, Surgeon. Got a short if he wants it. It's Pearce. Hands to it. Urquhart with the fumble. Rawlings. Goldstein couldn't collect that from hands and knees. Rawlings to Watt. Just stumps out of his area. Logan back with the fly.
Got done by White by protecting his path and coming back.
Really improving as a player, Tom Logan. To Chad Corns. Now Treadray with the pop-up kick. He's in position A.
Now that was a good kick, a clever kick to the advantage of his skipper. Treadray now just needs to use it better than he did last time.
Old Warren would have kicked this. Trouble is, it's now Old Warren.
There should be some sort of kick.
In his heyday, it was in.
Getting close.
Now it's a disciplined centering kick to the square. No mark to Bedley. Ebert the crumb. Bedley spins into trouble. Got a handball out. Corns! It's wide. Another behind. Hard, tough, tight contest at the moment. 8-point margin in favour of North Melbourne. They led by 3 points at quarter time. Simpson and Rawlings maintaining possession. Very early to be maintaining possession in a chip-up style. Hanson. Still 4.5 minutes left to half-time. Thumps it down the line. And Bentley got hands to it, couldn't mark it. Carlisle dropped it. DeLuca handled it to Logan. He left it behind. Dives back in. Gassisi wrapped up. Dispossessed. Ferrito. Likewise. Thomas. Gassisi. Big pack of players around this ball. Corns to lower to Carlisle. And dangerous kick. Almost cut off. Surgeon feels back. McMahon slapped on. Campbell. Another bounce. Didn't have to have it. And he misses.
He was worried about the pressure when he didn't look at the goals.
Troy Chaplin. Troy Chaplin showed fantastic toe just to get somewhere near Campbell. Just to make him think about it.
As he comes up. We get a standing ovation here, boys.
Well, that was a Brad Alton's-esque grand final-like tackle that could inspire Port Adelaide. DeLuca, nice grab.
It's a goal gone begging for North Melbourne. Would have given them some comfortable breathing space.
Chad Corns to Surgeon. Thumps it along. Treadray gets there, goes to chest mark. Can't collect it. Power. Harvey dragged down, got it up just in time. Ferrito to Watt to Ferrito. He left it behind. Sean Burgoyne. Hand up. Gassisi to Loney. Caught by Urquhart. Got a kick away. Straight to Harding. Kangaroos to the open side here. Rawlings. Harvey. Power. Wells. Ross. And now the long thumb. Free kick. Pushing the back.
They missed an opportunity there, North Melbourne. They had Lake Grimmer who'd come off the bench screaming for the ball on the wing, and nobody saw him as they went through the middle of the ground. He was unattended, no one within 30 metres of him.
Chad Corns took a step, and the player just off the bench was Pearce. He knew the player was coming on, had to delay the kick until he got across the line. And Harvey takes it out.
Oh, nearly deliberate. And now he calls for a change. He's got to go back on and then come off.
Big 2.5 minutes coming up here. Roden. Loney. Ebert's back. It's in his direction. Treadray flies. Can't mark it. Went with the hands that time. Left it behind. Hanson and Westhoff tied up. Ball up.
Just the last 5 minutes, Warren Treadrade's got himself into the game. He's got a couple of possessions, but he's actually contested a few more high balls coming in. And I just sense a lot of the smaller players like Piers, Roden and Ebert are starting to gravitate to him, and they need to do that more.
That was the state hat of South Australia there. Down to Ebert.
Great
He
goal.
kicks around the body and misses. Father Russell, of course, played for both these clubs. Brett Ebert's father, champion that he was, both for Port Adelaide and for North Melbourne. Short time there, had a very good season there. Ferrito holds it up. North Melbourne content to go in at half-time with a slender lead, almost, but not quite a spectacular mark. He may have hurt his shoulder.
Yep.
Loney. Lower. Ebert's calling for it. Gets there, can't scoop it up. Scoops it to Pratt.
Well, they're on here.
Lower needs to get back. Make the contest. Can't. McMahon. Open forward line for North Melbourne. Thumps it along. One-on-one. Hale. Good fist from Carlisle. Knocks it down. Grimmer. McMahon. Time to hit a target. And he hits one 3 metres away. Power. Run down by Pearce. Back to Grimmer. A minute from half-time. Shrugs the tackle. Sends it inside 50. Off the hands of Ross. Gets it back again. Sends it goalwards, but it's wide. Only a behind. Inside a minute. Port Adelaide been attacking quickly from the kick-ins. Trying to break through this 18-man midfield zone that North Melbourne play. This time they can't break through quickly, and Brogan might be content to hear the half-time siren. Sends it wide, and Rawlings and Roden see it out. A couple of the locals.
Testament to David Roden's game too, that he now has Brady Rawlings as an opponent, because he's been getting plenty of it.
Thompson. Kick smothered. Trickles to Petrie. Nice pickup. Simpson. He thumps it to the goal square, and it's wide. Didn't look, and it's out of play on the full. So essentially the last play of the opening half, unless Pettigrew turns this over. Chaplin. Hands.
Oh, it's got to be 50.
And 50.
It's got to be.
Well, the clock stops. He can send this inside 50 and hope for a mark.
Well, the runner's gone out to him, so he would have told him.
Okay, time back on. Dumps it inside 50. Treadrade gets there. Can't mark. Stop clock. Clock stops at 2 seconds. So now North Melbourne in the dangerous zone here. Wouldn't want to give a free kick away from this ball in. Half-time at AAMI Stadium. 10th versus 13th on the AFL ladder. North Melbourne pushing to keep their finals hopes alive with the lead at the long change. And Port Adelaide trying to keep their mathematical chances alive as well. 46 plays 37. Half-time at AAMI Stadium. Port Adelaide 5, 7:37. North Melbourne 6:10, 46. A good contest so far between 10th and 13th on the AFL ladder. Port Adelaide players getting together, and North Melbourne might have an injury worry. Lee Colbert has more. Welcome back, Lee.
Yeah, you'll be pleased to know there was a query over Daniel Pratt before half-time. He jarred his knee. He's actually out there, which is great news for North Melbourne. Signed a new contract, and here's the incident here. Just went over on it. He'll be okay, and he's resumed his place in the back line for the second half.
Well, that's good news for North Melbourne because he's been one of their best players. In fact, in the first half, he leads the possessions with 14, and he also ran forward and kicked a goal. So great news for North Melbourne as they continue to push for that 8th spot. They need a win tonight, and they need Daniel Pratt out on the ground.
So, Colby, whilst you're down there, just to continue your job, which, of course, between now and the end of the game is to find out and report exactly what Shannon Grant did do at the golf day last week to find himself dropped for this game. Looking forward to Colby reporting back on that.
Bit of food involved, Wayne, was it?
I'm not sure. I thought there was one television network that reported there was a Portaloo involved. But anyway, we'll find out the truth from Colby. From the ball up to start this second half. Roden, Ridden, got it out. Rawlings, slick. Simpson to half forward. Chaplin attacks it well, got a fist on it. Kane Corns looked up, left it behind, got it again. And Chaplin rolls it towards Hanson, though. Left it behind as well. Thompson, Brogan. Toward Modlop, uses the body, peels back onto it. About to snap a goal, misses across the face. It's been a quiet night, a quiet fortnight for Daniel Motlop. No goals tonight against his old team, the Kangaroos. Played 47 games there. And no goals last round in his old hometown, Darwin, when he was kept to a poor game by Daniel Morris from the Bulldogs, who's kept a few to a poor game this year. Dale Morris.
And he actually lost his cool up in Darwin as well. Now, certainly his temperament's... Oh, they're holding the ball up already. We'll see that winding down the clock, Dwayne. I hope it doesn't start now.
Well, they do have the lead. Brogan.
Must be code for something else, that one.
Wells takes it out. Maybe to keep it along the boundary line.
Yep.
Brogan took it out of the ruck. Well hassled by Harvey. Two little toe pokes in that string of play. Lindsay Thomas wants to get a target inside 50. Went short. 3 metres away was McMahon. Slapped it back. Campbell waiting under it. Surgeon went to fist. Back to Thomas. And Lindsay Thomas kicks it wide. I say timing is everything, Jacko, and Lindsay Thomas had a big article written about him 2 weeks ago about how Shannon Grant was his mentor and had been bringing him along nicely. Short pass. Lindsay Thomas on cue takes the mark.
That's a couple of times we've seen that tonight. And Paddy Carlisle, probably not the preferred designated kicker for Port Adelaide after a behind. It looked to be a regulation kick. No problems with him taking it. It's just the execution. He had one short, he had one long, and he kicked it right in the middle.
So the former Port Adelaide Magpie, Lindsay Thomas, just leaves it left.
Now, Jacko, did I see something different there, or did he put some quick steps on the ground as he ran in to kick that goal?
You are the expert when it comes to goal kicking, and
I haven't seen Lindsay Thomas do that before. It's like he deliberately put some quick steps in. Extraordinary, didn't work.
Rush the kick.
Carlisle goes long from this kick in, and Hale almost. Little tap out from Brogan, good. Pearce, Jack Corns, Brogan. Hale steals it back. Simpson. Harris. Caught. Roden. And gets the free for his trouble.
Did that well, David Roden. Just got involved.
Here's the shot for goal. Have a look at the little quick steps to start with. That was extraordinary. Maybe just getting him out of the system before he gets into his routine.
It's the little anthill. The ant stamp. Burgoyne to Westhoff. Burgoyne back again. Pokes it. Good tackle. And Thompson couldn't break free. And we'll get a ball up. 10 points the margin. And Thompson getting to his feet. Goal in the opening term. Brogan thumps it to the pocket. Harvey will get there first. And cleverly disguises the knockout. Head-to-head all night, Cassisi and Harvey. A few of the Port Adelaide fans who've stuck with them thick and thin. Live on television tonight in South Australia, cold night. A few have elected to stay home. Burgoyne dives in, he's wrapped up, we'll get a ball up.
Well, these are the evenings that Lee Colbert loves at boundary level, but it's interesting just having a look down just near where Lee Colbert is. Warren Treadray has started this quarter on the bench. We spoke about how tough the first half was. Just 2 kicks for him, no score, so he'll be itching to have an impact in the second half.
Umpire went down there and bounced back up. Massive players around this ball up. Throw a tarp around 20 of them. Ball down to Harris, trying to thread it out, and Pratt, the defensive behind. Probably the clever option, even though he gets a boo or 2. And he feeds off boos, Daniel Pratt. It's almost as if he plays for them. Urquhart thumps it in the Ferrito direction. Ebert backs back into the contest and makes a good contest. Logan keeps it in. Well, he was letting it roll out, and it stopped. Hands off to Ebert. Rolls it in the Modlop direction. Doesn't get there. Urquhart sends it long. Logan reduces the body and collects. Petrie wraps him up. Hand out, Wells to Thomas. Grant pursues. Had him almost before he collected it. Wells to Rawlings. Thumps it long. Chaplin flies with the fist. McMahon. Big wraparound tackle by Troy Chaplin. And we'll get a ball up. Here's the captain. Warren Treadray, game 225 on the bench. Simpson, Kangaroos captain, couldn't extract it from that contested situation. We'll get another ball up.
I reckon Shannon Watt would be disappointed with Treadray not being out there. He's played a fantastic first half, and as soon as the Kangaroos saw that Treadray wasn't out in the ground in the third quarter, Watt comes straight off. He's thinking, I'm on top of a big name player, I'm playing great, and there's no spot for me out there now.
Cassisi with the drop kick. Campbell got it up to Simpson. Hand fights Harvey. Short pass is 15. Ross. Another 15 pass through the hands of Pratt. Put Adelaide away. Bentley rolls it in the Modlop direction. It's there before Ferrito. Only got one-on-ones ahead of him. Sean Burgoyne. And the boundary line and Harding beat him. We'll get a ball in.
Well, it's a tight game. Both sides have gone inside their 50 a few times. Both sides are just, it's an arm wrestle at the minute, but just got to keep the work rate up. Both sides have got to keep working and believing that their forward structures are going to deliver a winning score.
Brogan front spot. Petrie from behind to Power. Harvey turns it over. Logan thumps it long. Ebert. Gibson couldn't get a fist on it. To the back. Hanson dragged down. Tackle. Holding the ball. Didn't dispose of it legally. Sean Burgoyne to take it 15 metres out.
Well, Jacko, that was almost a case of a deer in the headlights. He got the ball and he wasn't instinctive enough in what do I do? Do I just throw it on the boot? Do I try and set something up and maintain possession? And just didn't have that much time. Sean Burgoyne on him in a flash.
So what did you suggest early? We've rolled 11 blacks in a row at roulette.
Don't you dare mock him here, Dwayno.
Finally they roll red. He kicks his first.
Well, the way you're going, Dwayne, we'll be playing Russian roulette soon. Good long kick in as they cleared the ball from the middle of the ground. The Port Adelaide players had 3 options, but the long kick went in and Ebert met the ball and made a contest. And when you got this man, Sean Burgoyne, heading down on your hammer, you know he's going to create something in a contested situation. You mentioned about moving the ball out, 2 or 3 options. Long kick out.
Sean Burgoyne.
Interesting shot there. We could just wipe that goo off the chin. We'd all be happy, I think.
Well, it might keep Lee Harding away, the goo.
He was a little bit unlucky, Lockie Hansen. He's done a terrific job on Justin Westhoff thus far, but just got caught with the ball on that occasion.
Kane Corns shoveled a handball out. Broden almost left it behind. Back in, hassles it through. And the umpire might sort this out with the holding the ball.
Dean Brogan just jumped straight on it.
Harvey with the play on. Power. Sends it inside 50. Petrie flies. Legal spoil according to the umpire. Lower. Chad Corns almost turns it over.
Handball if that ain't.
Pettigrew wrapped up. And you're right, he cannot handball with that broken finger.
Well, we've seen him fumble a number of times. We've seen him punch, not fly for the mark, and that was just a poor handball. Heavily strapped, you can see the finger.
Brogan, nice palm down that. So Bedley to Corns. Little hand off Thompson to Loney. Now Modlop. Starting to find it a little now, Daniel Modlop. Didn't have a big first half, and he thumps that to Westhoff. Can't take the mark. He was in position A. Sean Burgoyne hassles it through to Westhoff, gets a kick away, and he turns it over. Harding in the Thompson direction. Corralled. Campbell. And now Ross on the open side. Hunted down by Chapman. Another brilliant tackle. Turnover to Chad Corns. Shorts it to Roden. And they get a goal from it. Thompson. Missed it. Urquhart. Bentley wraps him up. Power. Pratt. 3-metre kick to Ross. Harvey in a one-on-one with Cassisi. Good fist Cassisi. It's all about this ball now. Collects. Hands it off. Pettigrew. And Thompson. Had a big third term. Modlop 2 to beat. Gets the free.
Well, it's an interesting role for Matthew Campbell. Matt Campbell, I wouldn't suggest, has played down back too often. He plays the small forward role alongside Lindsay Thomas, and they do it very well. He's found himself in a stop and prop marking duel with Daniel Modlop, and I don't think there was much in it, to be quite honest. I reckon he's stiff. He's very stiff, Matt Campbell.
He might know him very well, though. They're both Darwin boys and both played at North Adelaide in the SANFL. Daniel Modlop a bit older than Matt Campbell.
That's where Matt Campbell just has to have the presence in mind, knowing what's around him. He had a Kangaroo teammate who was coming over to aid him in that sprawl, and fortunately gave the free kick away. There was a 1-on-3 situation, and Port Adelaide have come away with it.
Big kick this, and he misses. Well, in fact, he misses everything. A kick to give Port Adelaide the lead. Out of play on the full.
No one's managed to actually miss to the left down that end from this side of the ground. It's quite extraordinary, but that's poetic justice as far as I'm concerned, because that was a very dodgy free kick.
Well, there's an excuse for a blanket. 12 degrees at the moment, expecting a minimum of 10. Power. Brogan flies. Pearce. White. Surgeon. Bentley. Loney. Already kicked one from here. Big long launch again. And he misses this time.
Well, they had to get it to him early. He was over on that side for a long time, and they went that one too many kicks.
Pratt. North Melbourne under siege at the moment, but they, even from the first minute of this third term, gave the indication they were running down the clock, playing defensively. Ebert with 2 to beat, can't pick McMahon, beat Thompson, and now Hale.
Good play.
Open forward line, Wells peels back, it's shorter. Lindsay Thomas, and a wide kick. Petrie can get there, really had to motor, put the mark on the line.
It wasn't a great kick in the end. It was more good fortune than anything else, but Petrie read it the best. Can he produce something special here?
Port Adelaide's had a few shots at the other end and missed them all. North Melbourne from one inside 50 in the last 7 minutes. Might be able to get one from Drew Petrie's boot. It's across the face, and McMahon forced a fist. And that's a win. Made the contest all out of play. And Damon White, who has had a long history of injuries, getting some treatment on the bench for Port Adelaide. Ball back into play. Brogan to Roden. And in his trademark style, takes them all on. Loney. Ebert with Gibson. And now Sean Burgoyne, a 2-on-2. Oh, it tried to hand it up. Good tackle. Harding did extremely well there. Ball out of play.
Went with the wrong hand, Sean Burgoyne. He went the right-handed hand pass. It had to be a left hand, and Motlop's away.
Blankets, hot coffees.
In fact, it wasn't Motlop. It was Ebert, perhaps, was it?
Brogan holding the ball. He won't be happy with that. Said that he got a handball up and that he was grabbed in the contest initially. Hale
expresses his anger beautifully, Dan Brogan.
Yep.
You're never in any doubt as to exactly how he feels.
Some fans would tell you on and off the field. Harvey on the wing.
Let it go, mate.
Unfortunately,
we know where you're going.
That's what he did, though, unfortunately. He let one go.
And Rawlings just inside the line. Power. So launch one forward against the power. Chips. Wells. 2-point margin. North Melbourne hanging on to this lead. And
it's a good kick.
Lindsay Thomas takes the mark. He really had to dive, and good opportunity from 48 metres out.
Well, it was a good kick because they protected that side, the Kangaroos, the fat side, left of, I guess, their goal mouth, and allowed two leading players to lead into. And when you get a kick like that, it's a 70-30 advantage. Makes it life very difficult for a defender.
We'll see if he does the ant stamp here, Jason. The little walk as if he's trying to stamp them out.
The quick steps there.
Yep.
There they are. There they are. And then he gets into a nice smooth routine and misses. It's a very individualistic thing. Everyone is different. It's a matter of finding what works, what's comfortable for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be aesthetically pleasing, that's for sure.
Chaplin wide, and Chet Corns holds on to one, a rare one. Since that finger injury, Pearce trying to set up the 1-2. Sells the dummy to Harris, wobbles into the tread ray direction. Good spoil, little finger on it by Ferrito, fights on end. Is that deliberate? No, it's not. Lee Colbert.
Well, boys, Port Adelaide are one down. Damon White's done his right hamstring, and he's very, very upset. Not good news for him.
Terrible news for Damon White, given his injury history. So Loney got it from Pearce. Okay, take 3 from 50.
It's happy.
Port Adelaide back in front.
Well, that was poor play by the Kangaroos because 3 minutes ago, Loney had a similar shot, basically the exact part of the ground, and he was on his own for a long time, and no one went over to man him up. And when you get a clearance like this, a player such as Daniel Pearce, they're going to win the ball and find you 9 times out of 10, and that's a good finish. They're back in front now, the power.
There's Damon White, unlucky with injury, as we said. He shattered the tibia in his leg and had it in plaster all of 2002, which was his first season on the list. He fractured his face in 2005 and missed half a dozen weeks as well. He's had a horrendous run, and that run looks like continuing. Harvey runs and gives to Rawlings. Harding. Wells. 52 plays 49. North Melbourne led by 3 points at quarter time and by 9 points at half time. Power back inside 50. Jack Corn's front spot. They've put off his operation. Shoulder operation required. He wants to play on. Showdown next week. Certainly wants to play in that. DeLuca can't take it. Harris shuffles it out. Thompson back to Harris.
Oh, loose player in the goal square. Still.
Ross with the loose player, Daniel Wells.
He's been loose for 5 minutes. He was down on the edge of the goal square, and then he moved into the pocket, and then he moved out to where he's taken the ball. All they had to do was win possession. And again, this came about. He's having an odd sort of night, Chad Corns.
Well, no need to play on. If you're going to play on and into trouble, that's what he did. There was no option upfield. Just hold the ball and wait for the correct option to come your way.
Massive kick this to give North Melbourne back the lead straight through the middle.
Well, boys, this is just a good tight game. Two sides. Rest assured, they're not playing out to the season. They're playing with a lot of spirit and a lot of character. The finals are still alive, Jason, and both sides are going real hard at it.
Well, it is. North Melbourne have got everything to play for. Even though they can mathematically make it Port Adelaide, you'd really think they're out of the running, but they can't afford to drop it North, and it might just come down to who makes the most of the opportunities they have, who has the cool, calm head under pressure.
18 possessions and a goal now for Daniel Wells. 55 plays 52. Jacob Surgeon making it tough for him tonight. Goldstein in the ruck. Nice palm down and a tie up in the middle. And we'll get another ball up. Mentioned Todd Goldstein, former Australian junior basketballer. Turned his back on an NBL contract. Turned it back on the American college system as well, which offered him a gig playing basketball in the States. And now rucking for North Melbourne on debut. DeLucas kick smothered. Pearce. Bentley. Loney. Take 4. Doesn't go for goal. Hands to Ebert. He kicks around the body and nails it. Port back in front.
Well, that's the effective side for Port Adelaide, where they're getting a lot of drive and most of their scoring opportunities, where they've got two left footers in Loney and Ebert, and their last 2 goals have come through fast movement of the ball, clean hands, and a shot on goal by 2 good finishes of the game, and it's a good response, goal for goal at the minute.
Port Adelaide just about need to win every game remaining to make the 8.
Well, this quarter contested marks, a couple to Port, none to North Melbourne. Maybe just a crucial couple of contested marks in the attacking 50 could do it.
Port Adelaide with the incentive. They have the showdown next week, and they win tonight, win next week. All of a sudden, the mathematical equation becomes a little more realistic.
Well,
something else that we rate North Melbourne for is contested possessions, and they're getting flogged in that this quarter too.
Dumping tackle by Thompson. Harvey. Urquhart. Wells with the half volley. Half collects it and now does. Fully collected, but the look away handball didn't work. Chad Corns. Bedley. Surgeon. Cassisi. Kane Corns. Treadrow. Fist from Watt. Hanson. Back into Westhoff. Ties him up. No prior opportunity. No holding the ball. Ball up.
Well, at the start of that centre ball up, the Kangaroos have had a 7-man forward line, which you would think that plays in the hands of Port Adelaide, because that's where they're getting a lot of their rebound footing from, is off the half-back line of the Kangaroos.
Westhoff did a little ruck work. Knocked it into the pack. We'll get another ball up. Brogan back on. So the change has been made. Brogan back into the ruck. Westhoff likely to stay down from this one.
We should remember that no more Damon White, so they're 1 rotation short. Port Adelaide, just 3 on the bench.
Goldstein, 4th man up. Westhoff did go for it and got crunched.
Well, had to go one way or the other because he took it out of the ruck, didn't he?
Yeah. Road peels off. Leaves the 3, but maybe called out of it. Trapped under Ebert. He didn't dive on it. And they'll get a ball up just outside 50.
Free kick against him. No need for it. No need for it. Ball's in your forward, virtually in your forward 50.
Well, I'd suggest something happened in there that Brett Ebert didn't like. But it's cost them a free kick. It's quite often the retaliator that gets caught.
Doesn't always boil over either.
I'll tell you right now.
There's no need for it.
Yeah, but this is over umpiring. They both initiated a bump there, and Pratt went down. Have a look at this. He didn't hit him high. Yeah, that's just a bump.
But no need to do it, Jason.
No, true.
You're losing your cool.
No, I hear
You're
you.
giving the side the ball.
I hear you.
It's game on now, 58 to 55. And it's almost season on the line for the Kangaroos.
Still think it's over umpiring.
Ball about to be tossed in.
And
24 minutes
And
gone.
he's coming to the bench now. So Mark Williams,
And a free kick for Port Adelaide this time.
keep your cool.
Yeah, give him a spell. Let's have a look at what happens in here. Hand on the face, which isn't great.
Was the hand on the face or somewhere else?
I don't know. I'm not going to suggest what it was, but I can understand why Brett Ebert was a little bit upset.
West off to Corns. Keeps it in. Watt. Harvey. Gibson. Dragged down. Got the kick away. Central kick though. Sean Burgoyne attacks it. So too Simpson. Brogan strips it. Caught by Goldstein. They're all into this now.
Let's have a
4
look
minutes from three-quarter time.
Here it is again, Dwayne, and we're looking at the left hand of Daniel Pratt reaching over.
No, nothing in it.
He thought it was
didn't
Josh
know.
Gibson.
Yeah.
He was the one he remonstrated with. And look, the hand wasn't moving, the fingers weren't moving, so it was. But you can understand why Brett Ebert felt a little bit upset.
Simpson hacks it to the wing. Harvey off hands. Would have been a North Melbourne free. Kicks to Hale. Too far out to score. Back to Harvey. He takes them on. Sends it goalward. Goal square. Just getting back. Surgeon got a fingernail on it. Free kick to Port.
Jacob Surgeon, take it back.
Magnificent desperation from
Brilliant.
Surgeon.
That's brilliant.
Certain goal, that. Well, they've had it twice tonight. Chaplin in the second quarter and Surgeon in this quarter. I mean, the Port Adelaide, the rest of the team have got a rise to that.
Logan sends it long.
Too easy,
Watt
right?
beats Tredrea again.
Yeah, he's had his number all night.
Pratt. Cool. And sends it wide, and that wasn't so cool. Kicked it out of play on the full. Port Adelaide by 3 points. 3 minutes from three-quarter time. Loney, Kane Corns, possession number 21 coming up for Kane. Chaplin to Pettigrew. Inboard to Surgeon, set him up.
Did that well.
Is that a set play?
Well, they knew the pressure was coming, so just tapped it down.
Lower, Cassisi, Carlisle, and now Ebert. And a good fly on Mark. Crowd rise. I want him to go for it.
There it
Well,
is,
this is
Surgeon.
the lunging spoil from Surgeon, putting his body on the line, Jagger. That wouldn't have tickled either.
No. And that's why we love our game. When players do that and the ball goes to the other end of the ground, you know where the goal is going to be credited if he kicks it.
Everyone's missed to the right, Dwayne.
Left footer.
Well, he grew up over the back of those goals. He should know where they are. Sends it long.
He's kicked it.
Knows where they are, all right. Port by 9.
Well, we've halved about it. It's a 12-point play. 6 points that the Kangaroos didn't get through Jacob Surgeon putting his body on the line. Port Adelaide go the length of the ground, use the ball wisely, and Ebert finishes off with a nice contested mark. He's probably got his, I guess, adrenaline running at the minute after that little incident. He knew he had to kick this goal, but the Kangaroos should have had someone on the goal line.
Exactly.
That was what was disappointing for the Kangaroos here as we see the ball come through. Just needed another big body down there to stop that because that went in at about head height.
3 goals, 1 for Brett Ebert. North Melbourne, who spent the first half of this season inside the top 8, see their final hope slipping. Petrie back inside 50. Hale almost a free, doesn't get one. Chaplin. And now Pearce.
Brady Rawlings absolutely gone at Petrie because he was free when Petrie got that ball out. Could have used him. Now Port Adelaide are inside their 50 where the Kangaroos should be.
Roden to Brogan, but he turns it over. Harding. 90 seconds left on the clock. Harding looks like he knows it. Pratt. They led by 3 points at quarter time, North Melbourne, and by 9 points at half time. And last week they led by 5 goals against the Saints and let that one slip. Port Adelaide has taken some leads into the last quarter of games here at AAMI Stadium this year and let them slip as well. This one certainly not over yet. 64 to 55, a ball in with 59 left on the clock. And a quick ball in at that. Simpson.
Too easy.
Power throws it back. Rawlings, good tackle, Loney. Chad Corns. Pettigrew's pick up clean. Loney's kick wide to even.
Good lead.
Motlop's calling for it. And he gets it. And he takes on Farino when he's going into trouble.
Where's he going to go?
He's the jack in the box. He's barely popped up tonight, and he can't pop up here or get a ball up in the goal square.
You get a mixed bag with him.
He has got to learn to do some things the normal way. He's become too predictable in trying to pull a trick out of the bag every time. That's cost Port Adelaide a goal.
And the ball up, Brogan slaps it down. Thompson, Treadray kicks it behind.
And the fact that he tries something on every single occasion means everyone's waiting for it. So he's not going to fool too many. He got a beautiful kick, go back and have a set shot. Now he slips and still tries to do it again. You just can't do it. Sometimes you've got to play football the old-fashioned, regular, standard, normal, everyday way.
I'm not sure he can. Crack to Petrie. And he should see us to three-quarter time.
There's nothing boring about kicking a goal from a set shot, Dwight.
No, you did.
But anyone can do it.
Trying to work out how many times. 1,300 and something. Three-quarter time here at AAMI Stadium. 10th versus 13th. A realistic chance of making the finals up against a team with a mathematical chance at least. And this one looks like going down to the wire. 9-11-65 plays 7-13-55. Port Adelaide by 10. The final term about to get underway at AAMI Stadium. Petrie and Brogan. Brogan with a palm. Simpson tried to extract a kick. Brogan gets it out to Corns. Towards Westhoff. Hands are strong.
Good. Playing in front, that's what they need to do. That's what he needs to do.
Feeds off to Pearce. Sends it long. Motlop the target. Can't get there, and Pratt drops back and marks. Port Adelaide continue to try and get it inside 50 as quickly as possible. Petrie. It's one of the statements made by Mark Williams during the week. Rectify what's been happening so far this season. Clever kick. Petrie, Watt, Campbell, Harris, Power, Campbell. And now the thump. Lindsay Thomas might get a fly at it from behind, can't mark it. Lower, tries to hack it out of the area. It ricochets. Thompson gets the handball out. Ross!
Oh, that's the fortune, Jacko, isn't it?
But weight of numbers, and if you got him there with pressure, there was a pressure kick out by Port Adelaide, which went straight to a defender. I think it was Farino to hit here. That's it. It was a hard kick by Loney, but they had 4 numbers back, so you got to make your luck here, and that's a goal that they needed.
First goal in AFL football
Ben Ross.
For Ben Ross. And a nice way to get your first goal in AFL footy as well. From the ricochet and the commitment. 65 to 61. Logan going nowhere. Simpson drags him down.
Well, I guess it's great from the game's perspective because it tightens it up once again. But it was just a little bit of fortune. The kick from Lower, Nick Lower, it could have gone to the advantage of Port Adelaide. They had one short, one long, and it hits Farito and then results in a goal.
Harris Strip it from Bentley, but it's tied up again. Ball up again.
Which is an interesting move in itself, the fact that Michael Frito's gone forward for North Melbourne. He is a player that can win contested footy. Chad Corns is his opponent now.
Power. Rawlings. Campbell. Chips it inside 50 to Thompson. Hard mark. Hasn't been his night. Sean Burgoyne. Kane Corns. Open forward line for Port Adelaide. Westhoff peels off. Tough ball to grab. Half volley. Grabbed by Hanson. He's over it. He's gone.
It was a poor kick to him. They had to hit him. They had the momentum to run down the outer wing, and the kick doesn't hit him. Makes it very hard for a bloke that's 6'6" to get down on his knees.
Farito. Petrie, nicely measured kick. Petrie inside 50, but Carlisle in front of Nathan Thompson again.
Dangerous.
Oh, boy.
Got to have that vision. They've done it a couple of times. Both sides have done that a couple of times tonight.
Hale was spent. Logan kicks toward the boundary, but it'll be Simpson's ball. Gathers on the wing. Inboard to Power. Petrie. Caught, but got the handball just in time. Harris. Shrugged in the tackle. Wells. They're inspired at the moment, the Kangaroos. Harvey! Over the top of Kasisi.
Pencil it in. This bloke does not miss.
And Kasisi had to look at the ball. He turned his attention to Boomer Harvey. He was looking at him, look. Then lost position as a defender, and you're just underneath the ball. There's a hand in the back there too.
Possession number 24 coming up.
I've already marked it in the book.
He said he does not miss.
Does not miss.
They've already got it behind tonight.
That was under pressure. He got tackled as he kicked it. He was never a chance after I said that, was he?
2 behinds for the man who does not miss tonight.
Turn it up, Boomer.
65 to 62. Sean Burgoyne thumps it long in the Brogan direction. Can't get a fly at it. Hanson takes the mark.
Burrito's on in the middle if he can get it to him.
And Modler might cut it off. In fact, the Shepherds for Rogan. Modler finds himself into trouble as he likes to do. Out of trouble. Pokes it wide, the tread road. Hasn't had a big night at the office. Westhoff. Nice to miss it past that time. Bentley. Thumps a wobbler towards Evans. One grab, not the second. Simpson's spoil was good. Shoots up the handball. McMahon to Petrie. Last line of defence. He can rush it behind. Doesn't know if he will. Still thinking about it. Just teased Warren Treadway. It's a behind. Four-point ball game. Pratt told to get on with it. Simpson. Rawlings. Hanson. What? That was Hale out wide. Not there in time. Thumps it long. Thompson from 4 deep. Can't mark it. Wells back of the pack. 2 Mallee Park boys. The Wells and Sean Burgoyne. Back from the same junior club. Not a bad crowd in tonight here. Well, 19,851. Thought it was a little better than that. They've been in full voice. Roden to Pearce. Logan.
Gee, they're making some errors. Both teams are under pressure, in fact.
Rawlings wobbles it inside 50. Almost Lindsay Thomas. Done that a few times tonight. Chaplin, Brogan, Pearce. Open forward line again for Port Adelaide. Kane calls with the 1-2. Modlop calls for it long.
Take him on here.
Pearce does take on Petrie. He'll send it to the goal square. Ebert's peeling back. It's a 2-on-2. And a good fly from Watt.
He has been brilliant tonight, Ryan.
Treadway spent most of the night on the bench. Roden and Harris.
Well, Daniel Harris thought he was all clear, and Roden picked him up quick.
Hands dragged down by Roden. Another spectacular tackle. That time not rewarded. The natives are restless. Didn't appear to dispose of it legally. Ross. And he misses Simpson. Chaplin. The boundary line if he wants it. Didn't take it out. Holds on to Simpson. With a kick away. Westhoff. Underground to Chad Corns. Many of these players are spent at the moment. Cassisi. The Chaplin.
Oh, look at the kick.
Terrible kick. Campbell cuts it off.
Well, there's no excuse for that.
Takes on Westhoff. Sends it short. Thompson on the move. Can't mark. Wells. Hands up to Ross. Dragged down. Handball up finds Carlisle. And Carlisle taking it across the line.
Gee, there are some tired players.
It's a ball in.
A few players out that can barely stand. Here's the tackle from Roden.
Dropped it completely.
He's saying that he got a toe on it. That's a kick. He got a toe on it. What a brilliant decision by the umpire.
Hale and Brogan. Ball going nowhere. We'll get another ball up.
You just see it as one of those games where it's going to take one or two acts of individual brilliance just to turn the tide in the favour of one of these sides.
Again, Brogan and Hale tie up. Burrito played for the free, didn't get it. Chad Corns caught. Another ball up. Last time these two teams met here, last year's preliminary final, was Port Adelaide by 87 points. So much has happened since then. Loney holds it in with Urquhart, who hasn't really got many options.
Yeah, I thought Sean Burgoyne could have gone a little bit lower at the footy. He just waved one hand over it and ran straight past it. That is a crucial mistake for a very skilled player to make.
Petrie over the top. Simpson was stolen by Bentley. Hands it out. Dangerous territory. Wells, he can have the snap. Goes back. Power. Thumps it long. Burrito with the fly.
Good spot.
Good fist Chaplin. Thumps it toward the boundary line. Harvey. Cassisi was with him. Harris. He sends it goalward and he bends it around. Can't give North Melbourne the lead. It's 3 points the margin.
Well, this is where you're going to have good poise, both sides.
Spoil from Chaplin.
Well, he's been amongst everything. There was a tackle earlier on the other side that he was involved in as well.
The problem that Port Adelaide have got at the moment is they've got to kick a few more goals to win. And it's almost like they're just trying to keep possession and slow things down. They've actually got to take some attack up to the Kangaroos if they're going to win.
Brogan to Pettigrew. Roden slits another tackle. Pettigrew takes on Urquhart. Treadway. Back to Roden. Loney, who has been kicking long tonight. Short this time to Treadway. On attacking 50.
Too far out.
Great score on the other side.
Space,
on the other side. Yeah, he's found it.
Pettigrew, who is a very, very accurate kick. In fact, he's the most accurate kick in Port Adelaide's team.
Yeah, why would you say that, Wayne?
He's kicked 3 straight this year.
Every time we've wrapped a kicker, he's made a meal of it.
He's 82% at goal.
Oh, he's nearly no chance then.
Well, they need it against the flow of play.
Will it take a defender to go forward and kick a goal?
Started his career as a goal kicking forward.
Oh, yeah.
He's missed
it again, Dwayne.
Well done, Dwayne. The human Moz.
It's his first miss of the year.
Well, pressure does
63.
Pressure does funny things to players.
So we're back on red or black.
And the commentators.
We're back tossing a coin. It's a pressure cooker. It is. It might be the most attractive game, but it's terrific to watch purely and simply because the amount of pressure, the effort that the players have put in, there's so many tired legs out there.
Gibson down the outer side. Kangaroos with the numbers and Hale, nice block.
That's 50.
Oh, it's two.
It's two.
Well, we'll like to see the replay here. I might excuse Chad Corns. Was it a bit of in motion?
Well, should he have been grabbing him after the mark had been taken?
Yeah, well, he should know better, yeah.
For North Melbourne to take the lead, he has to kick it goal, 45-degree angle, 25 metres out.
Now, this is a pressure kick.
Couldn't miss this. He's kicked 13 goals, 8 this year. Coming into tonight's game. Ooh. Slips at home, and North Melbourne back in front.
Well, sometimes it takes an error, sometimes a flash of brilliance. On this occasion, it's a 50-metre penalty. He outpointed Corns, and then Corns reinitiated the contact and knocked the ball out of his hands. It may have been accidental, but he's got to make that decision, the umpire. You can remonstrate all you like, Chad, but that's the letter of the law. And unfortunately, it's cost Port a goal. Now they've got to find something.
Been a seesawing battle all night.
We know North Melbourne are pretty good in the tie finish. Dwayne, what's Port's recent record like in close ones?
Well, it depends if you count the game against Fremantle where they came from behind in the last quarter, or the game against Carlton and Brisbane they gave up in the last quarter. Corns. Surgeon tried to knock it on. Simpson almost a free. Surgeon throws it out. And allowed to play on is Ross. Takes them on. Hands it up to Grimmer. Poor bounce for him. Pettigrew. Over the top to Logan. Sends it in the Treadray direction. Bounced unkindly for him. Hale throws it back. Pratt shovels it to Simpson. Every possession vital now. Pratt. The bullfighter through Surgeon. And short to Ross.
Oh, loose player in the middle of the ground.
Harding can go. Got the lead out wide. Pettigrew with the spoil. Didn't have to go at it. Thompson tucked into the pocket. Tackled, didn't get a kick away. Ball still alive. Forward pocket. Again Grimmer. Now Wells. Corralled by Chaplin. Grimmer. Wells. 50 from goal. Doesn't hit the target. Kane Corns and Port Adelaide on the rebound. Loney. Motlop calls for it long. Ebert's inside 50. Loney goes in Ebert's direction. A one-on-one. Can't mark. Westhoff can't get the crumb. Ross does. Shrugs the tackle. Urquhart. Inexperienced players combining, but Urquhart's kick not good. Roden put his body on the line. Motlop. Short Surgeon. Not 15 surely. Westhoff. Good spoil from Watt. Urquhart takes on Pearce. Bad option. Pratt. Hanson. Great. Motlop drags him down. No holding the ball. The natives are restless.
I'll tell you what, it's good footy. We see players make mistakes under pressure. It's as much as the Carlisle tackle.
Just pinned it.
Yeah, it's as much about decision making as it is about the skill execution, and some of them are just making wrong decisions.
Harding. Pursued by Chad Corns. Knows he's got him beat. Kicks to half forward. Pettigrew front spot. Cassisi the crumb. And he takes it out to Cassisi. It looked like a deliberate.
Just had to disguise that a little bit better, but he benefited out.
This is the Motlop tackle on Hanson. Just drove him into the ground.
Rugby-like.
Unlucky not to get the free kick.
Short throw in DeLuca and Goldstein. Two less experienced ruckmen go at it. Goldstein gets it out. Surgeon. Bentley. Dangerous, but they're taking the game on. Logan back to Bentley.
Oh, boy.
And now Corns on the other side.
He's got to run this ball as far as he can. And you spoke about decision-making before. He has to make the right one here. Not panic.
17 minutes gone, final term. He heads to Ebert. Good fist from McMahon. Thumps it to...
Well, turnover now, goes back the other way.
Power. And he sends it long, but ill-directed. Chaplin.
Someone just needs to keep their head about them when they're using the football here. Speak of the devil.
CC. Chaplin. Cassisi. Chad Corns. Logan.
Not much ahead of him. If he plays on, he's going to be in trouble.
Roden makes the ground. 7 minutes and counting. 18 minutes now gone, final term. And Thompson, and there's no one there. Goldstein.
He was there for a long time.
And the debutant takes them up.
Well, you've got Treadray off the ground. You've got Westhoff outnumbered. Who do you kick it to?
Well, Brogan just came on and he was calling for it on the boundary line. Would have been a 15-metre chip kick. Or Brogan's got to go straight to Goldstein.
That's not a great sign. Sean Burgoyne limping.
Right. Along the line, Urquhart. Brogan can't take the mark, though.
That's a good result for North Melbourne. It's just the game's stuck between the half-forward lines at the moment. It's one turnover after another, and then each team has a crack at moving it forward.
Former Port Adelaide and North Melbourne player Stuart Cochrane, the runner for Port Adelaide, barking instructions. And we'll get another ball up. Lee Colbert.
Good sign, Sean Burgoyne's at least up and down the boundary line. Looks like he's got a corky. Great to see Port Adelaide pushing Chad Corns forward because he's really struggled around the midfield. Run out of tank, I think, big fella.
Well, it looks like Treadray's waiting to come back on as well. They're going to load up their forward line. Westhoff will come off. In fact, he's being sent back. Treadray's still waiting to come on. Sean Burgoyne as well.
That's allowed Westhoff to get free because his man didn't follow him. Power. Ball slapped down. Get a ball in. 2 points the margin.
This is Sean Burgoyne. He just comes in here to tackle. It looked pretty innocuous. Just gave something a tweak. Maybe just turns the ankle a little bit, perhaps.
Harvey threw it out. Played for the 3. Didn't get it. Ball in.
In fact, word coming from the Port bench is it was a cork thigh for Sean Burgoyne. Didn't look like much. They'd like to get him back out there if possible.
Short throw in. Goldstein makes a contest. Thompson can't get it out. Wrap up tackle, push in the back. Daniel Harris. 80 from goal. And he holds it up.
They just look like they've got a little bit more run, North Melbourne at the moment.
Short.
Well, they know they've got a finals berth at stake here.
Short again. Perfect pass. Wells dropped it. Rawlings to make something of it. With the outside of the boot, can't kick the goal.
He should have taken that, Daniel Wells.
Has he done a Herschel Gibbs and dropped the game? Carlo.
Jacko, it is absorbing to watch it as we're just seeing so many mistakes under intense pressure and tiredness.
Well, you mentioned it before, decision-making, and it's not as if it's unfamiliar to them because they do train in pre-season to simulate these type of situations. When they're tired, it's deep in the last quarter or third quarter, they've got to make the right decision.
Simpson to Rawlings, and a hail plucks it from over the top of Sean Burgoyne. They can kick a goal from this inside 50. They might wrap it up. Hands off. Pratt wide. 2 wide for McMahon. Brimmer there. Gets a hand up. Wells short. Cut off by Corns. Harris waited for it. Logan came hard. Tried to scoop it up. Ross thumps it to full forward. Thompson off hands. Lindsay Thomas. A miracle.
Well, Jason, you said it's going to take something miraculous, and Lindsay Thomas, he just plucked that out. Someone like Daniel Wells, when he won goal of the year, he got this on the fly. Look, he's in motion. He knows he's going to kick this once he's got it. And just worked his way through some traffic. That's what you need. You sense that goal. Puts them 2 in front with 4 minutes to go. They've hung in there all night, the Kangaroos. They deserve to be where they're at. In front of the minute.
To keep their finals hopes alive, North Melbourne lead by the best part of 2 goals now.
Well, it's not just the 2 goals, unfortunately, Dwayne, but they haven't kicked a goal in the last quarter. Port Adelaide, they don't look like it.
Brogan rips it out of the air. Kick half smothered. Urquhart. It wasn't smothered, wasn't touched. Urquhart can take some time.
Well, they'll endeavour to slow it down and just keep possession. Milk the clock as much as possible while there are a couple of kicks up. Here's a bit of cramp for Adam Simpson. That works nicely just to chew up the clock a bit. See how disciplined Port are at manning up.
Harvey. Seconds continue to tick. Thumps it long in hope. Carlisle's fist straight to Corns. Brogan trying to hand it back. Wells, Corns squeezes it through towards Chaplin. He heads to the line. Hale, Rawlings, and it was out.
He's kicked that.
Would have been a miracle goal. Dean Brogan would be breathing a sigh of relief, I'd suggest. He just butchered that handball. It was the give and get with Kane Corns, and somehow, here it is, he's just got to give it back to him. He fumbles. Wasn't clean. Puts them under pressure again.
Hale and Brogan tie up. Roden tries to slap it back. Ross caught. More seconds tick.
Just sense a little bit more urgency from the Kangaroos. They're hitting a lot of these contests at full pace, and the ball's deep in their forward line, so they'll be happy where the ball is in a minute.
Plenty of other teams with September aspirations watching this closely. Roden appeared to be legged. He wasn't. Up to Harvey. Kick smothered. Wells. Harvey. Too wide. And it's Port's ball. 3 minutes on the clock.
They've got to take some risks. They can't afford to just play possession footy and try and spot up targets. They've got to move the ball quickly, and they've got to get numbers to the fall of the ball.
Logan down the line and outside the line. Out of play on the full. Ferrito's ball.
Now they've got
Clock
to man
stops
up.
at 2:48.
They've got to man up. Any loose players will get found out very quickly. Nathan Thompson's just come off the bench. He'll get this.
He can take more seconds off. Might as well use the whole 30.
Absolutely. Then you go long to a contest down the line.
Brogan under this. Petrie with him and Alapate Carlisle over the top. Chaplin. Logan peels off to the open side. Goes down the middle to Loney. The 1-2. Chaplin to send it long. Even. Half forward with McMahon. Not the second grab. Dishes up the handball. Stolen by Urquhart. That might be the game. Harding straight down the middle. Nathan Thompson dropped it. Stolen back by Roden. He's got Modlop calling long. Modlop goes long.
Pushing
Gets
back.
a push.
There's no need to do it.
No, he wasn't going to get there. Gee, it wasn't subtle by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Nathan Thompson's had a dirty night, but in the middle of the ground, he just had to take possession of the ball. He fumbled it. Ferrito, he just had a brain snap there.
It's like Groundhog Day for Daniel Modlop. So often he has the game in his hands with just minutes left. Never in doubt. It's game on with 1:45 left.
Well, you had the feeling it was going to go down to the wide, Jacko.
Yeah, well, they ran it, like you said, Jason, take some risk, went through the middle of the ground and went the long option. And when you got this guy down there, you've got to go to him. I know he probably had a crack at him in the third quarter when he was unpredictable. Well, was predictable. At that time, there was no need for the free kick. But with Ebert and him down there, they need to win this next clearance and just kick the ball long there. But still, with the decision making is very important.
Extra numbers in defence for the Kangaroos. Dwayne, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-man defence. Couple extras up on the wing.
Brogan with a big knockdown. Harding caught. Turns it over. Cassisi. Loney. He can go the long launch. Keeps possession.
Oh, I know what he's doing.
Bentley. Can't get the handball out. Well played, Harris. Rawlings. Simpson. Boundary line a win. Was it deliberate? No. Well, Brown wanted it. There's not enough here to call for it.
They blew an opportunity. Loney had two loose players.
Just had to hit the target.
Missed them.
Quick throw in. Brogan slaps it back.
There they go. Oh, it's
Bentley
close for a two again.
inside 50. tags it, centres it. Sean Burgoyne with a couple to beat. Well played by Urquhart. Knocked it down. Thompson caught. Brilliant tackle. Modlop lurking. Can't trap it. Pratt searches for the line or Gibson. Either will do. Gibson rolls it. Loney. 56 seconds. He can kick it from there. Short pass. Treadway. He's had a lean night. The hero.
Now, he will run out on the left boot, you suspect, and kick
He's
around
got to
the
take
corner.
ownership of this kick. He has to take ownership, go back, size it up. There's plenty of time left. Take the glove off. I like you called it, Jason. He's going to rely on his left foot, open the angle up, and just win the game.
He's had 6 possessions. He'll kick this left foot around the corner.
Needs to go back a little bit more.
He's got the season in his hands, the captain, and he misses.
Well, that was the chance.
Would have you liked him to go back a little bit more?
North Melbourne simply hold possession here. They win. Harris holds it and they win. Port Adelaide season dead. North Melbourne season well and truly alive. Power holds it up at half back.
Great game. Well done both sides. They fought it right to the end.
Rare went away from home and North Melbourne remains a contender in 2008. A desperate, hard-fought battle, and North Melbourne, who've been a far superior team to Port Adelaide all year, hold on to win by 2 points in a nail-biter at Amy, 10-16-76 to 10-14-74.
It's almost the way you expect to see North Melbourne win a game of footy. Backs to the wall. They had the Shannon Grand incident during the week. They come here and it's a tough night. Port Adelaide on top early. They fight back. It swings to and fro. And with their season on the line, the game on the line, they manage to do enough in the last quarter. They kick 3 goals to 1 in the last quarter to get over the line.
And the one goal was Daniel Motlop like as we go to Lee Colbert on the boundary line.
Harrow, what a game of footy. The season's still alive.
That's right, guys, still alive. And I just want to give credit to all the young blokes that stood up tonight. Like Benny Rice, Blake Grimmer, these guys, Lockie Hansen coming in the team. It's really exciting for the club. And down back, they stood firm. It's good.
What about this bloke? He kept the main man pretty quiet all night tonight, Swatter. Yet 30 seconds to go. He gets the ball in his hands. What were you thinking?
I was heart in the mouth, I can tell you that last one. But when I saw it sail through for a point, I thought we might be home.
You played all night on him, and obviously when he went off, you went off. How tough is it to have a big gun player every week?
Yeah, look, it was a lot better this week. The boys in the midfield were really, really good. There was a lot of pressure, so it was coming down. It wasn't laced out for him, so it made his job a lot harder and my job a lot easier.
Now, the Magpies next week, it's another big game. They're all big now for you guys. 10th position, but you're still around the mark.
That's right, it doesn't get any easier for you, Cops. We've got Magpies this week. They had a good win, so good challenge this week, but we're going to enjoy this, regroup for next week.
You got a couple of older blokes a chance to come back next week, which is a good sign as well.
Yeah, bloody oath, I really hope they're back, and the team's looking strong, and hopefully we can kick on.
Go and enjoy, boys, with your fans, and all the very best.
Thanks, Cops.
That is a terrific interview, Lee Cole, with a couple of players here, Daniel Harris and also Shannon Watt. Jacko, we got to see raw emotion. Daniel Harris spent, exhausted, lavishing praise on the young kids, and then Shannon Watt, who absolutely towelled up Warren Treadway, then has to sit there and say, I had my heart in my mouth. He nearly won the game for him.
Yeah, well, it might not be a day, but it can be a moment. Warren Treadway went through that experience. You mentioned it before about the Kangaroo spirit. They certainly showed it throughout the whole game. Both sides had their chances, but well done to the Kangaroos, because they fought on as if they had a position in the 8 up for grabs.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. The fighting Kangaroos. Lee Colbert in amongst it. Plenty of mates out there for him. He's nearly high-fiving most of them. He almost got the blue and white jumper on again.
He's out there celebrating with them.
Oh, he's a freak.
Interesting player, Shannon Watt. He's probably what Jack Dyer would term a good ordinary player. 144 games without a Brownlow vote. The most by any AFL player in the competition now. 144 and not one. Had a long apprenticeship, of course, under
the great Mick Martin. And he's just able to hold his own at the moment, which is fantastic.
At times a maligned player, Duano, but, you know, valuable player. 6'4", that can run. Got a good tank. We saw the Port Adelaide players already in the warm-down mode. They'll be bitterly disappointed. Their season's over, but the Kangaroos season is well and truly alive.
And this will be big in the huddle for Todd Goldstein. The debutant, no doubt, will be in the middle of the huddle. Pick 37 back in 2006, so second year on the list, and just turned 20 years of age, Todd Goldstein. And good name to have for a bloke born on July 1, the first day of the new financial year. Todd Goldstein about to get into the middle of the huddle and celebrate for the first time a victory.
And get sprayed with a heap of Powerade.
Yeah, Dean Ladley having a word there to Daniel.
Well, it was a tough week for him.
Campbell.
Tough week for him. I mean, they're in the press. We saw Dean Ladley didn't want to answer the tough curly ones at the airport, and he did say, well, we've got a young bloke playing this evening, and he wanted to speak more about him, and he held his own pretty well during the course of the afternoon. He certainly would have got a lesson with Brogan out there.
As a coach, you live and die by the composure of your players, don't you?
Season still has a heartbeat, and what a heart the North Melbourne Footy Club has. By 2 points in the end, 10-16-76 to 10-14-74. Back to wrap up here at AAMI Stadium straight after the break.